As humans, we have a constant wandering mind, looking towards the sky, at the moon and stars, always wondering the question if we're alone. Here are 5 new UFO phenomena. A crew member of an offshore supply ship claimed this object was 5 times the size of his vessel. The encounter, which has since been reported to the National UFO Reporting Center, occurred on Tuesday in an area approximately 80 miles to the southeast of New Orleans. Close to 7 p.m. on March 21st, just before dusk, myself and 4 of the crew members aboard our vessel saw a craft that appeared to be 5 times our 240-foot vessel in length, the man wrote. The craft rose up out of the water, about 40 feet. No water was dripping from the craft. Within a split second, the craft disappeared at a 30-degree angle into the sky. The report was considered so compelling. In fact, the NUFORC has highlighted it as one of the most significant of its recent submissions and is now actively seeking out other witnesses. He estimates that upward of perhaps 50 people who were aboard nearby vessels may have witnessed this as well. A string of UFO sightings across Washington County in 1966 drew the attention of the entire country. The peculiar series of events began on March 14th, when local police officers reported seeing a number of mysterious lights in the sky heading at a high speed over Kalima Township. The lights were spotted again the next day at the Ohio border, and then several more times at various locations across Washington County over the next week. Then on March 20th, truck driver Frank Manor told police that he and his son had seen a large pyramid-shaped object hovering near the ground in a swamp in Dexter Township. It was sort of shaped like a pyramid, with a blue-green light on the right-hand side, and on the left, a white light, he said. I didn't see no antenna or porthole. The body was like a yellowish coral rock, and it looked like it had holes in it, sort of like if you took a piece of cardboard box and split it open. Manor's sighting resulted in extensive search of the swamp by more than 40 officers, but the reports just kept coming, with some of the men describing the red and white lights flitting across the sky. Much to everyone's dismay, however, the sightings were ultimately dismissed as swamp gas. But to this day, we're still unsure. Recently released government files have revealed a spat of UFO police reports over the last few years. The documents, which are made available through a Freedom of Information request, detail how officers responded to calls from members of the public about UFOs over Lancashire, England. 3 of these, one in which an object was reported over Lytham St. Anne's in 2014. With any call received into the police force control room, the operator assesses each and identifies any risk, threat, or harm, and the operator provides an appropriate response to this, which may include deploying an officer, said police spokesman. Sometimes these calls are not what they may seem, so a potential UFO call could be a suspicious light or suspicious movement that could mean any number of things, and we would assess and deploy officers if required, or there could be a concern for the caller's welfare. UFO scare. Kalima province residents were left terrified after a mysterious object crash-landed near their homes. The quote-unquote UFO, as it turned out, was actually part of Google's Project Loon, an ongoing endeavor which aims to extend internet connectivity to people living in rural and remote areas. We all thought it was UFO or the remnants of a spacecraft, one of the locals told a reporter. Under normal circumstances, Google's Loon balloons can be found positioned high up in the stratosphere at an altitude about 18 kilometers. The project named Loon is based on the fact that even Google itself believes that attempting to provide broadband to over 5 billion people in rural areas is an almost impossible task. Broadhaven Triangle UFO mystery turns 40. It has now been over 4 decades since a group of children witnessed a UFO outside of their school in Wales. The remarkable incident, which remains one of the most compelling UFO cases ever reported, involved a group of school children who saw a figure dressed in silver emerge from a yellow cigar-shaped craft, which landed in a field next to Broadhaven Primary School on February 4, 1977. The school's head teacher, who didn't believe their story, later asked them to draw what they had seen. To his surprise, the sketches of the UFO and its occupant were all eerily similar. The UFO was reportedly sighted again only a couple of weeks after, this time by some of the teachers and dinner ladies. No conclusive explanation for these sightings has ever been found. So that was 5 stories about the UFO phenomenon. Do you believe we're alone in the universe? Do you believe they visited us? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're enjoying my channel, feel free to subscribe. And if you're going to keep watching videos, feel free to click one up here. Thank you again for watching.